Hello, everyone. Today we are going to take a look at how do we open up our Python programming shell, how to do a really quick, simple program, uh, where do we want to save it, and then how do we run it to make sure that it actually works. So I'm using my computer at home today to make this video. So the one thing I don't have here is I don't have the icon when we go to save to go to an H drive. But while we're at school, we'll have one. If you end up having to do this stuff at home, we will find a way for you to do that. But for right now, I'm hoping for the best and that we're going to be at school when we do this. If we aren't at home and we're online, we'll talk about how to do that later. So on your computers, uh, and I have installed Python program. And to get to it, you want to go into your start button down here on the bottom left hand corner and scroll down to the alphabet to the P's and find Python 3.8. Click on that, and then you want to open up the Python IDLE. Okay. Now, this is the program that's going to actually run the Python programs. And we can actually do some things in this that would help us and make you show it how to work. Like, so we could actually give it a command of print and hello, close the brackets, and then we can actually give it a command to do that. But we don't want to do programming in here because this just isn't going to be, this isn't a nice place to do it, even though this is the place where we're going to be running our programs within this Python 3.82 shell. What we want to do is we want to open up the file and we want to create a new file. Again, if you're learning the commands, keys, Control N for a new file. Okay. And once you get this, what you want to do, what I encourage you highly to do, is to actually save this right away. So go in and do Control uh, Shift S or Save As. And then if we're at school, you want to save this on your H drive. And your H drive would be down right here, somewhere near where this C drive is. And then you can save it within documents within your H drive. That way, if you're not on the same computer, you can still open it up. However, for our case, um, we'll just have to play it by ear and see where we're at. So we're going to save it. Uh, it's a Python file, but to guarantee when you go to save something, I would actually encourage you as you type in your name to put the .py on the end. The .py lets the computer know that this is an Python program, and so it will be labeled correctly. You don't actually need to because we are saving a Python file here, and it'll do it for you. But just it's not a bad habit to get into, just in case. Um, and the reason I say that is because you could actually do this in Notes on your computer. Most computers have that little simple program called Notes, and you could actually do it there. And then when you go to save it, you could actually save your program and then put the .py on the end, and it would save it as a Python program so that you could actually run it in a Python operating shell. So that's a nice way to do that. So here we've got it. We're going to save it here, and of course I've already had one saved before, but so here we go. We've got this set up, and then if you remember, or if you haven't seen it yet, you can actually put things in that don't interfere with the program, as long as you put the double quotes first and after. So we're going to give this title, and then we're going to give it a simple command print hello. Now, to get something to print in the letters, you need to have the quotations around this, whether they are single quotations or double quotations, you need to have it. Now, I just use single because that's really simple. Okay. And so now you're ready to have this print. But here's one thing that I would suggest, and start doing it early on so it just makes it easier. If by chance you're doing a program and you've gotten 30 lines of programming and you go to test it and you go to run it, and all of a sudden it tells you there's an error and it tells you what line it's on, well, that means you'd have to start counting. And after about 10 lines, I start losing track of which line I'm on. So the easy way to do that is go under options and come down here and give line numbers. And you can see your line numbers over here on the left. And so you'll know exactly where to go look to find that line number to see where the error occurs. Sometimes it's a capital letter where a capital letter is not supposed to be. Sometimes it's a colon where a colon's missing and you need to put one in. Sometimes you forgot to put quotes around something. So we'll just have to wait and see where those come from. So here's our first program. Here we're almost set to run it. But look what happens if we go to run it. And notice it says source must be saved. So the nice part about this Python shell is you can actually, since we've already saved it before, you can just go in and click OK, and it'll save it and then run it. But get in a habit, please, of saving your programs often, and then trying to run the program, because I know from my experience doing the programs, frustration would get a little high when I would forget to do those kinds of things. So there we have it. There's our first program, the first one that we've run. Simple, hello, print out something. So take this, remember those first few hints. They'll save you some headaches in the long run. And one word of advice as we begin this program and we start going through everything: I'm here for questions, but I will not tell you how to do your own program. You need to work and persevere and write your own programs and learn the language and learn what to do. There's a certain way that I'm going to do things, but you're going to find that there's certain ways that you want to do things and that you remember how to do stuff. And that's what makes your programs unique. So you can ask me any question, but you just remember you may not always like the answers that I give. So good luck, and let's continue to move forward in our programming, and let's have some fun creating some programs.